Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video, all in crypto here. And today, once again, we are going to be talking about Chainlink and Chainlink potentially becoming the standard for interoperability. We're going to speak about a number of things and how actually Chainlink is enabling hybrid smart contracts that can be executed across any chain. Now, we made a video recently talking about how Chainlink was massively overlooked and was a big deal. One of the frequent comments that we had was that people didn't see the actual use case for the Link token. Now, of course, you know that all validators have to have Link and have that staked, essentially, or roundabouts. And this is part of Link's economic mechanism to make sure that good actors remain good actors. You know, there's a slashing penalty for anybody who provides malicious data to the network. And this is how Chainlink maintains and ensures that validators partake correctly. And we are going to see a continuous onboarding of validated node operators. There is, however, and one of the other things we covered was their integration with Swift and something called CCIP, which I think people massively overlook, and specifically to the Link token. For being able to use this protocol, it's very likely that there's going to be a fee structure that will be paid in Link. And with Swift having 11,000 customers, essentially, banks that they do business for, you could see how if the financial industry really wanted to integrate with the blockchain industry through CCIP, Chainlink becomes all of a sudden very, very much in demand. And that's just dealing with one partner that they have, Swift. They are literally partnered with every single blockchain. And actually, I think that if you could have a trustable way to navigate all blockchains like CCIP and execute smart contracts across multiple chains, the value of that itself is massive. And of course, this is done in a trustless way with the technology that Chainlink are providing. So let's get into the video. First of all, I really want to explain exactly what CCIP is, or cross-chain interoperability protocol. I'm going to play a clip of Sergey actually explaining this himself, far better than I can, and then we'll go through a number of interesting things that I've been looking at this week.
We're quite proud and very excited to be announcing CCIP. So CCIP is something we've been working on for many years. In our initial white paper, we made it very clear that we want to support all leading smart contract networks for both off-chain and cross-chain interactions. And CCIP is similar to TCP/IP and other protocols that seek to provide connectivity and seek to make disparate different systems work under one messaging and under one communications standard. So CCIP is really about creating a global open source standard such as TCIP or others that will allow blockchains to interoperate with each other, will allow smart contracts from different blockchains to send each other commands, and obviously enable the movement of tokens between chains. And this is the final piece of the puzzle that we are now very, very focused on and have already been working on for years, about how we want to enable a truly cross-chain set of smart contracts, where all the different features of all the different blockchains and all of their different capabilities really need to be something that we give people access to. Because giving people and developers the ability to generate a smart contract on Ethereum, use DeFi protocols on other chains, send a payment on a Hyperledger payment system, maybe get collateral in Bitcoin, or do whatever complicated combination they want to do, is something that will unlock an entire world of innovation in our industry. It will unlock an entire new set of applications that were previously not available and previously not possible. And that's why we're doing this.
Pretty impressive stuff, right? This is a future that I think we're moving towards. You guys know I believe in an interoperable future. I think just like the internet, you have many different languages, but on the internet, they can all kind of come together and work. Similar thing with blockchains out there. And actually, Chainlink could be setting the standard. So this in itself, we'll talk about the fee structure in just a second, is very, very exciting. Certainly for somebody like myself, we've seen many attempts at cross-chain and actually how people have somewhat tried to reinvent the wheel when it comes to communications and cross-chain. You know, they try and take a token from one place and actually physically put it over to another blockchain. I believe that we already have a sufficient system in regards to messaging that we use in traditional finance. Of course, we know that the fault there lies with centralized actors. Chainlink kind of somewhat eradicates this. And actually, I do believe that the answer to interoperability is through messaging, not necessarily the actual teleporting of tokens from one place to another. So that's extremely exciting. How does this unlock cross-chain smart contracts? We're going to extend on what he said towards the end of the video a little bit. And then we're going to talk about Swift and the fact that they are using, Swift has 11,000 plus banks under management, or that are customers of Swift. Swift are actually using CCIP for blockchain interoperability. And then we'll look at how the token kind of fits into all this, perhaps. And then we'll move on from that. Like I say, I got a lot of comments saying, well, what does the token do? The token has value and a role to play in the Chainlink ecosystem. Currently, and with the integration of CCIP, this could become infinitely more. So we are very bullish on Link. We know what's happening in the crypto space. It's how it goes, guys. We are yet to even be recognized as an asset class. I think all that's coming. But enough of me rambling on, guys. Let's go back over to Sergey.
You will be able to generate, with the emergence of CCIP in this coming year, a smart contract that is actually multiple contracts on multiple chains interoperating with each other. This will be another huge leap, just like the generation of data has been a huge leap for the emergence of DeFi and the generation of random numbers and various off-chain computations in an Oracle network has been a huge improvement for NFTs and gaming. The ability to create cross-chain smart contracts will allow developers and people building smart contracts to utilize multiple different pieces of code on multiple different chains, just like they utilize multiple different pieces of code in multiple different clouds as web developers. They utilize the service and the piece of code that's the best suited piece of code for a task. That is how web applications are built. And what I feel the Chainlink network and the Chainlink ecosystem will be able to do by providing this cross-chain capability will be the emergence of smart contracts into a much more useful format. That format will be the cross-chain smart contract. It'll still be a hybrid smart contract because it'll utilize off-chain data. It'll utilize off-chain compute in Oracle networks, whether that's for randomness or keepers or whatever other computations. But you will actually have the ability to build smart contract applications the same way that web developers are able to build high quality web applications. And at the most general level, that's what I think our industry and the Chainlink network and the Chainlink system and we as a community need to really do. We need to get the next million developers coming into the blockchain industry to build the way they are used to building in the web industry. And the way they're used to building in the web industry is very quickly, at a very high quality, and with very cost efficient and easily usable applications. That is what we need to provide as an industry, as an ecosystem, as a community. And while Oracle Networks for Data provide that for making DeFi applications, and Oracle Networks for computation and random numbers can provide that for gaming and NFTs, the ability to stitch together multiple pieces of smart contract code on multiple different chains, I think, is going to redefine how people build applications in our industry.
Pretty cool, right, guys? Let's move on to the next clip because this video has gone on for 8 minutes plus now. This is them talking about their recent partnership with Swift. And let me know as I'm going along, guys, your thoughts in the comment section. How do you feel about Chainlink?
Just to kick this off, we're going to begin talking about cross-chain. And in regards to that, just to set the stage, I'm very happy to announce that we are working on an initial proof of concept together with Swift on the use of CCIP. In the capital markets to enable communications and movement of tokens between a number of different institutions in a way that'll accelerate the adoption of DLT, blockchains, and benefit various institutions all over the capital markets. In that regard, I think we'll just start discussing cross-chain, and I'd be thrilled to hear Jonathan's views on the importance of cross-chain and how communication between chains and institutions in a multi-chain world could look and work.
Yeah, so thank you, Sergey, and thank you for the invite. Let me start maybe because I know, not everybody is aware about Swift, but I will try to explain it very quickly. So Swift is a cooperative, is an international cooperative. We run perhaps the biggest network in financial services today for capital markets, for payments, for FX, for trade. We are headquartered in Belgium, although we have sort of operations everywhere. And we have around 11,000 banks that are connected to Swift today. They exchange financial information in the most secure, reliable, and scalable way. All right, so that's one, just to frame it that. The second piece is that the POC that we're doing, it's the end of a long story, right? I think 5 or 7 years ago was the first time Swift and Chainlink started working together. You were actually one of the first startups that we bet on. You won the startup challenge that we used to have a long time ago. And then even before blockchain was something that financial services had in their minds, I don't think at the time nobody was doing anything on blockchain, on financial services. Swift and Chainlink worked together on the first POC that we did on bond issuance and redemption. It was quite successful. And that was maybe the first steps of this sort of love story between Swift and Chainlink, which continues today.
Very interesting. Interesting that they've been working together for a period of time now. Let's play the next clip, also talking about Swift, and then actually how we potentially could see the fees being paid to facilitate this, the cross-chain smart contracts and messaging, actually paid in Chainlink. This would be a big deal. The next post that I've got is a Twitter post.
This specific body of work is that it doesn't just include banks. It includes the largest messaging standard for 11,000 banks to communicate and transact, basically. And one way to think about a message is almost like a blockchain transaction. They're really not that different. Blockchain transaction is, on blockchains, and a message is assigned to be interpreted by other message interpreters. So you have the largest network for bank communication about financial transactions. You have the largest market infrastructure that settles and clears the securities of the largest global securities market. You have Euroclear, which is the same thing as DTCC for Europe.
Right.
You also have the Hong Kong. You have a number of other basically participants that are also very large infrastructures, and you have a multitude of banks. So what this is actually doing is it's replicating the way the financial system works now by connecting market infrastructures with banks, with messaging systems, and it's wrapping that all up into this CCIP transmission to blockchains. So what this is basically doing is, instead of just having one part of the global financial system adopt CCIP, this is looking to prove that the whole global financial system can adopt CCIP across the messaging standard, the market infrastructure, and...
We'll leave it there. Isn't this very, very interesting stuff, guys? I think that a lot of people, I didn't want to be rude in the comment section when people are saying, oh, they don't really get it about Link, and that from a price point of view in regards to the token. First of all, it's very impressive what they're doing. Forget the price, right? These guys are pioneers. Sergey not only pioneered the DeFi space initially with oracles, he also pioneered, and he's now pioneering this new standard potentially for interoperability and interconnectivity with the traditional financial world. Let me tell you again, guys, people are sleeping on Chainlink. This was the tweet. Shouts out to this individual who, of course, has done all the work on this. I'm just simply sharing the tweet. Connect to hundreds of change through a single interface. That literally means all fees at initiation may, so there's a big may there, be paid in Link and converted to the native gas coin of whatever DEST transfer chain is involved, rather than banks being required to hold hundreds of different coins in their treasuries. And he goes on to post, obviously, the Swift interface, and then, of course, a number of other things. And this is where it talks about the fee. So you get the messaging.fee token equals Link token, and then it kind of spits it out the other end. Here was another tweet that I was looking at. Interesting that Chainlink listed price of Link at $5 in CCIP audit. Full token is equal to 1 unit, so talks about Link, it talks about fee tokens. A single fee is paid on the source chain. The message will be executed on the destination chain with the caveat that executions might be delayed. See below further interest. So this is all very, very interesting and breaking stuff. Chainlink could be, it already has a massive use case, I believe, the Link token, in regards to securing the network for providing honesty in regards to the validators. And we're seeing validators, you know, so many people want to be validators. Link's partnered with everyone in the blockchain space. I think they may be setting a standard for interoperability between blockchains themselves and actually between blockchain and the traditional financial world. Let me know your thoughts, comments, and concerns. Do some digging on this, guys. We are very bullish on Link. And if you want to find out what else we're bullish on, please do consider joining the Patreon. All I'll say on that note, I'm going to love and leave you. Enjoy your Mondays, guys. Hopefully you've all had a magic one. See you in the next video.